Hello geometry students, in this lesson a review of distance, slope, and other things. Find the distance between the points. Yeah, there's the distance formula, but you know I'm not going to use it. I'm going to use the Pythagorean theorem. I'm trying to find the length of this line. If you reproduce your triangle, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 along this way, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm trying to find the hypotenuse. I'm going to write it distance formula wise and just say it's a squared plus b squared equals distance squared. And I get square root of 41. Decimal approximation is that 6.40, we'll call it. That means that this line is about 6.4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and some change. That's the length of that line. Much faster than using the distance formula. However, sometimes the distance formula is useful. In this case, I don't have a picture, plus I have some weird decimals. So I am just going to say negative 0.2 plus 3.1 squared. Oops, it's minus. And then negative 4.7 minus a negative 5.8 squared. And I am going to do like you do. I'm just going to plug this into my calculator. Sometimes that is the way to go. And I got 11.0. I'm not sure if that's right because that's not what I got earlier. So I'm going to do this again. I got 3.48. The lesson is be careful when you plug stuff in your calculator. Find the slope. Once again, you know I'm not I don't like formulas. Of course, formulas are useful. I'd much prefer to have a picture, but on this one I don't. So I'm just going to say y minus y over x minus x, and I'm going to plug in y on top and x on the bottom. Make sure you go in the same direction. $18 plus 5 is 23, and down here we have 2. Seems like a strange slope, but 23 over 2. It's a very steep line. If I were to graph it, I would actually see that it is 23 over 2. Let's start by graphing these points and come up with a shape. 0, 0 is A. B is side to side 3, up and down 4. C is negative 1, up 7. And then finally I've got negative 4, up 3 for D. That's the shape. I'm going to continue to use this shape on the next slide. So I'm actually going to reproduce it here, at least as best as I can. This was A, B, C, D. It's asking for the lengths of the sides. And again, I'm not going to use the distance formula. You can if you want to, but I'm going to create a triangle. Looking back at my picture, I know that this distance here is 3, and that's 4. I actually may have those backwards, but it's just a squared plus b squared equals ab squared, but I don't want ab squared, I want the square root. That's equal to 5. The same thing is going to be true for this one. And then for the other ones, BC, it's The reason why I'm able to do this so fast is because I can look at the picture and count the blocks. It's so much easier than plugging it into the formula. Of course, the formula is fine. Now I am going to use the formula for the diagonals themselves because I don't have a picture anymore. So AC, what I'm looking for is A and C, and I'm just going to plug it into the formula, which is x minus x, so it's -1 minus 0 squared, plus y minus y, 7 minus 0 squared. You can plug that into your calculator, but I know I'm going to get 1 squared plus 7 squared. Now, I know what you're thinking. Shouldn't it be -1? We're talking about a distance here. You can't have a negative distance. So even though this is -1, when I go to square it, it becomes +1. The same thing is going to happen on BD. I'm just going to say 3 minus 4. That's, order doesn't really matter, but I'm going to try and be consistent. I'm going to say -4 minus 3 squared plus 3 minus 4. The way I think of this is how far apart are -4 and 3? -4 and 3 are 7 units apart. The fact that it's negative is irrelevant because I'm talking about distance. And then I say how far apart are 3 and 4? They're 1 unit apart. So square root of 50. Of course, you can plug that into your calculator if you don't see what I'm doing. Midpoint, that should be fairly straightforward. You just add the x's and divide by 2. So for x, it's 4 plus 0 divided by 2. That's equal to 2. Add the y's together. That's also equal to 2. It's just a coincidence that they end up being the same thing. That point right here. If I had a picture, I can actually look at it. If you don't have a picture, then the formula works just as well. Add your x's. It's x plus x divided by 2. Well, it's a 7 and a -3. That's 4 over 2, which is 2. It's y plus y divided by 2. The coordinates of the midpoint, 2, 3. Let's sketch a picture of it right quick. Obviously, it's not going to be completely accurate, but this is -3, 19. Over here, 7, -13. And I found a point right about here, 2, 3. That doesn't seem unreasonable. And that's that.